got ourselves. I'm going to share this. If I can find it. This is actually a rare case where I've spent a lot more time practicing the race than qualifying, because the race is so much different from qualifying this time around. Normally, you can just drive mostly the same way and it's fine. This time, we're going to have to get really creative with how we save the tires, because it's going to be a rough one. Okay. Anywhere else that I want to share this? No, to be honest, not really. Okay. So let's try and get back into the groove of qualifying, because I spent until the last moment practicing the race and how I'm going to handle this. This is in that very awkward spot where the race has too much tire wear, and yet you still have to you still have to no stop it because there's nothing else you can do. Pitting's going to cost you too much time, and if there was tire deg, if there was significant tire wear deg before the cliff, then maybe pitting would be better, but it's just not working out like that. The Nissan is theoretically faster, but it's even worse on tyres than the Supra, and I'm going to need all the help that I can get today. Not bad. If I can get close to my record pace in qualifying, that'll be very convenient, because that's actually in the Nissan, which is maybe a couple of tenths faster than the Supra. I say maybe because I really don't know. I just did the It was too much bite into the turn. That was not enough bite into the turn. One more practice run, and then probably only going to get 4 attempts at it because it never lets me out of the pits early. That's really annoying when it doesn't give you that. I don't need to set another lap time, I'll just practice this front sector again because it is actually the harder part of the course. You'd think 130R and Casio are difficult, but nah, I think the first half of the lap is the tough bit. Everything up to spoon curve is very difficult. And it's part of the reason why, spoilers for my race strategy, 9 temps is often better than 10 temps at this course. I once again turned into that corner too early. And that was a little late. Well, we'll try and slowly hook it up over qualifying. Which is actually still pretty important because it's a rolling start. Going to lose a lot of time if we don't get ourselves in around the top 10. Although it looks like we may have gotten a bit of a reprieve by the split because only 12 people are here. Which means for us that since many of the top guys are still here, we're actually in a really good position to get points from this one as long as we don't completely crap it. Points. Good chance. Points for surviving. I'll wait until after qualifying to talk. Although, yeah, Andrew Lee actually needs a 4th score. Anyone in chat? Okay. I don't know where we're going to be in this one, because I feel like I've got decent credentials, but on the other hand, I'm going to have to go really slow in the race. So if there's only 12 people here, that must mean that it was either 3 splits with about 36 or 4 splits with 48, 49. Jesus, science, how horrifying. Might not bother staying in this train because it looks like we're just gonna lose out either way. So I may take a couple of seconds gap from Rulestone and go from there. Yeah, I'm gonna start backing off now. That way Rulestone doesn't feel too pressured to go flat out himself. Looks like everyone's spread out just fine. Rulestone took that corner really slow, so now I don't have the gap. Felt like I had to push it. Well, that's weird. I was never getting that penalty in qualifying in practice. So I'll just take the chance to practice the spoon curve and then... hopefully we can go a little bit harder. Yeah, we're not going to get back around for that many attempts anyway, so might as well take my medicine there. What was that? What is weird? What is up with me right now? I can't seem to do anything in quali. I would have thought Yeesh would have just let me go too, but I suppose the gap is still over 2 seconds, so it's not really a big deal. Yeah, that's not a bad lap. I saved it in the second half of the lap. The first half wasn't very good at all. Max, Max, Max! He almost lived up to his name. Mad Max. He's just looking like he's pulling away from me now, so better odds that I lose another position unless I can. I don't think that's going to do it. That wasn't a very good run through Spoon. It seemed clean enough, but I can assure you that was pretty crappy. And yet somehow the sector split makes me eat my words, and I'm up. Yeah, that last sector felt awful. So this has to be the one. And so far it's fine. Okay. We're going to get the lap in when it counts, hopefully. Don't you dare end up on the kitty litter. There goes Yeesh. But he already had a banker lap, so he could afford to go all out there. I need this lap to count. And it's going to. Lost just a little bit at the end there. Oh no! 1,000th of a second! Whew. I should have taken 130R a little bit harder. That would have been the couple of thousandths I needed. Oh. Well, I know I'm not dipping any lower than 9th, but that's the problem. I'm not starting any higher than 9th. Damn, that felt like a good lap too, and it still got pipped by Rulestone right at the end. Because until the last run, Rulestone was only 2 tenths up on me, and I improved by 3 tenths. But Rulestone got that lap in just like I did. Unless Andrew Lee's fixed his wheel issues, he somehow managed that on controller. Barbara's going to feel really good about this, because he needs to make up some points on Sidog, and Sidog has not had a good qualifying session. There were a lot of things I could have done just that little bit better in the final sector. But yeah, let's maybe this will be better to start 9th rather than 8th, because I can just do my own pace. Well, here comes the pain. Because my race pace here isn't going to be any good. Nif might even be able to have a crack at me. But let's see what happens. In theory, I can make it to the end. So, let's see if I actually do. If some other drivers, if we get some other drivers to mess up and we drive the race that I'm capable of, I may be able to come 6th or something, and that I think would be good points. But it hinges on a lot of other drivers taking risks in this one. What would the points be on paper? Because I get the feeling that this is going to be one of the highest scoring rounds. So let's say 350 divided by 24. And then if I take 7th even is worth 262, which is better than my... So that's the goal. That's the goal. Come 7th or higher. Assuming that this split is worth 350 points, because I was one of the lower DRs in the lobby, but my DR isn't necessarily bad. Which tells me that this is actually a pretty decent split for points. I did say that I needed to qualify at least top 10 to avoid starting on the corner, and I think 9th will do. Alright. Let's get down to business. Yeah, 9th will definitely do. In fact, I think everyone's going to be... the back might be... The back might just have started on the corner. Don't warm up your tyres, you need all the tyre life you can get. See how differently I'm going to have to drive this car in the race. It's like go really slow. Someone's already off. That's good news for me. Although they actually rejoined. Are they going to get a penalty for that? No, apparently not. But it's not necessarily the best case scenario for me, as I kind of need an incident-free race. Cool, vacuum cleaner has been turned off, so I can listen to the rule stone. Yeesh is off. Gonna have to go wide because I wasn't sure where Yeesh was gonna ghost. That's unfortunate to see for Yeesh. They looked like they had a lot of opportunity to do something in this race. Alas. Of course, their loss is my gain, and if I can get a couple more places just like that. Oh, I was in way too deep there. I've gone faster than that. Have to push a little harder to get into the 59s, especially whilst I still have this slipstream benefit. Although how much of a benefit is it really, given that we're taking so many turns? Honestly thought that was a slower sector one than it actually was. I don't have any pace. It's probably better that we did start behind Rulestone, because Rulestone is clearly pushing it harder than I am. I didn't want to trail brake through there. If you haven't guessed by now, the strategy is to do as little trail braking as possible, because trail braking is what kills your tires harder than anything else. The tire has to simultaneously turn and be under braking, and it just doesn't handle it. So if you can do all of your braking in a straight line, it puts a lot less stress on the tire. That's something we do not need. I got a slight skid going on into that corner, and it's going to be so marginal that minor moments like that could make all the difference between us making it and us getting a puncture right at the end. Twitchy has taken the lead. I wonder how much of that is tactical from Distinct versus Twitchy just getting the lead on pace. Although I did hear from the grapevine that Andrew Lee's actually doing this on controller, so that may explain why he's decided to slow down a little bit in the race, because you gotta take a very different approach to the race when you've got this controller handicap. You burn through your tires very quickly if you don't do something to combat it. We're maintaining a decent enough pace. This is all I can do right now. If I go any faster than this, the tire's going to be dead by the end. For that reason also, that it would be nice if we could actually pull away from NIF, because I thought we were going to have race pace on NIF, but apparently not. I think my tires are just fine for now. As long as something stupid doesn't happen later. Oh, Yeesh is coming back. As long as something stupid doesn't happen later, I think this has actually been one of my better performances as of late. I've had a lot of trouble hooking things together, but I got to say that qualifying was actually a really good lap, even though we just got pipped by Rulestone. And so far the race has been a pretty solid effort. I wouldn't say it's been outstanding, because as you can see I am still losing time to the bulk of the splits. But I think for what I was doing in practice, I'm executing on what I was doing, and so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if we can close the deal. Yeah, I knew I was taking that sector a bit faster than normal, but is that going to cost me later, because that came at it at a price of pushing the tyres a little bit harder than usual. As you can see, absolutely zero trail braking through the second half of that. Just want to take as little off the tyre as possible while still making sure we stay ahead of NIF. Once again, no trail braking there. Down to a mid 59, that's about as fast as I can go without killing the tyres, and even then I think I might have pushed that lap just a little bit hard in places. That felt okay. Turn! Oh. Had that bout of understeer. I think I turned in just a fraction late, and that almost messed this entire complex up. Gotta stick to the game plan. Don't try to push to stay with Rulestone. See, I'm not even taking the shortest possible route down these straights because I'm trying to put as little steering input as possible in while I can afford to. Exits that I would normally take in third gear, well, they're fourth now. What would be a second gear hairpin, third. Okay, managed to give myself a little bit of a gap on NIF, so should be able to take things just a little easier from here on out, provided I actually hit my apexes. It's actually better to not go wide at that last apex. It's a trap. You lose time by not hugging the inside, and also it's going to cost you more tyre wear because you have to do more steering. I think we're on pace to just make it. I did say in the Discord their group beforehand that this was going to be barely doable. And I stand by that statement. We lost a fair bit on the exit there. Wait, did you Yeesh just spin again? How do you spin on a straight? Ooh, there's a chance to get some more places. Someone has come a cropper. Oh, it's Matt Simmons. Wait, I just realised that I'm an idiot. Well, oh, only now you realise you're an idiot, Jay. But yeah, the point was that Guy Barbara's in the Australian battle, not the New Zealand. So where Sidog qualifies doesn't matter for him, it matters for Adam. It was Matt Simmons and Emery that were the main rivals for Barbara. Although, that being said, Andrew Lee's not safe yet. He needs this result just as much as Barbara needs it. So, I wonder what the agreement is going to be for those two. Maybe there's no need for an agreement because Barbara seems to have Andrew Lee covered. Just looking at the mini-map now. Niffer's finally fallen away pace-wise. Through all of that, Adam is now top 5. I'm still doing 59s, and I'm still on pace to just about make it on my tyres. Why am I taking that line? Established that accelerating through a corner actually hurts your tyre wear a lot, just like braking through a corner does. That was a terrible exit. I'm not surprised Niff managed to catch back up. Suppose after all those 59s I was due a bad lap eventually. But even my bad lap is still a 2 minutes point 3, so are we going to survive 4 laps on that much tyre life? I honestly don't know. We could be losing a place to Niff if they don't have a puncture themselves. Oops, that was a dodgy turn. dodgy sequence. I lost 6/10. I don't know what happened to me there. No, seriously, I don't know what happened. This lap, it just feels like I haven't had the grip. Don't you dare end up on the kitty litter. Three laps on that much tyre life. Oh jeez, we're in dire strats here. As you can see, our situation is shockingly grim. There we go, that's a better sector one. Because I've still somehow got to get 2.5 laps done on that little front left. I was expecting a few drivers ahead to pit. Two to go. Does the front left hold? I don't think it does. I've had to go really slow just to try and eke out a little more tyre life, but it's not looking good. Oh, Neff has hit me too. Yeah, just a love tap, but enough to spoil what would have been a decent enough line. We're losing even more ground now to the cars ahead, so even if they run into tyre troubles, and I really don't bank on it happening, it's all lefts to the, it's all lefts from here on out, so I actually think that we have enough front left tyre life for one more lap, but do we have enough front right now? Because we do still have to take 130R. this is going to be close no matter what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, white flag on the racetrack. No white flag for us, as we have tried ever so hard to make this no-stop work. Every corner gets us one corner closer to the end of the race, and then it doesn't matter how bad our tyres are. Oh, it's not turning. It absolutely refused to take that. It's like, please have mercy on me, Jay. But I lean in and say, no. That's it. That's all of the major right-hand bends. Now we just have to get through the lefts. Actually. Oh, but is Niff gonna get us? He might. No, it ran out of tires. I ran out of tires right at the end, and now I have to go again because that's not going to do it. You know, the saddest part is, okay, we didn't have any cornering. It was the tires falling off the cliff. I was literally 2 turns away from salvation there. But no, we had to push just that little bit harder than I would have been comfortable pushing to keep Niff behind us. And that made all the difference right at the end of the race. I know that in theory it's doable if I don't have a car, but if I'm not getting harassed from behind. It's doable. And see the sad part is 8th would have been enough to improve. Is doable. I just hit it. I'll try again. I'll see some of you next slot. Next slot, then next. From behind. Just had to go a couple attempts faster than I was comfortable with. And that made all the difference. If I'd held on to 8th, I would have probably banked. But since I came 9th, I am going to queue up again. This race is doable for it, but I had to hurry up for the behind. Too much. So yeah, I'm still live. I'm still live, everyone. Trying it again. That was 3. Yeah, if I'm gonna try and take a quick break before I go again, but I'm definitely queuing up because I still think that if I do this race the way I'm supposed to, stick to the 2-minute flat range, high 59 pace, and actually get to the end. Because we were home three, but I just had to push that little bit harder to keep Nif behind me, and that made all the difference. Anyway, I noticed that I've got a lot of people flocking in now, so hello everybody. 10 minutes to go and we've got another race to look forward to. because just to elaborate on what I said in chat, when I saw that Nathan was on their 59.1, I thought, well, their race pace isn't going to be any better than 2 minutes flat, and that's my race pace when saving the tyres. So with any luck, I'll be able to pull away from him and not worry about that end of the race. But alas, it didn't happen that way. I had to push myself into the mid 59s to get that gap, and then I had to suddenly slow down even more to try and get to the end. Wait, if you're on pad 2, how did your tyres not go off the cliff? Because I thought I was taking it super easy and I still lost my tyres at the end. I'm going to have to check that after the race. Because I think the way I was driving, I was expecting some other drivers to either pit or lose their tyres before me, but it seemed besides me, no one actually lost their tyres in that race. I'd look at that replay now if it wasn't for the fact that we literally have 10 seconds before we match up. Huh, it matched up 2 seconds early. That's new. Alright. This is going to be the Yeesh Redemption race. Ranger Oz could challenge for the win. Adam's going again. In theory, I should be able to do well in this split. But is it even going to be worth the points? Probably needed to capitalize on that first race, but even then that would have barely been an improvement from my 252, which is my lowest round before. So why not go again and see if I can get up to 22? What? Like, I honestly don't know what that reference is. The difficult thing is that this is a much bigger split than the first split. We had a very select group of high-rated drivers that I needed to get a result from. 7th would have been enough, but unfortunately I just did not have the pace. And now we have a full group of 16, so now I need to beat most of the split to get an improvement at all. Alright, well, you know the drill. I turn my phone off for rather the hot laps and come back to you when I'm done. Actually, a gap is emerging. I was thinking for a moment we may have to do something here, but it looks like we'll be able to queue up. It's Atom that's behind me. I'd hope that they give just a little bit of space. I don't know. It's going to be hard. Let's just trust that the logjam behind sorts itself out and take the space we need away from Dragline. That'll do. Yeah, Adam slowed down anyway, so we probably could have eased up just a little bit more than we did. I think Yeesh is going to be trying not to repeat his mistake last slot of messing up his first 2 laps, but that puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on you to convert right at the end of the session. Speaking of, Dragline has messed up and I've followed him in. And there's no gap in the queue. I have to stop. There's still no gap in the queue. Uh-oh. We'll stare. Yeah, there's still no gap. There's still no gap. Barton's going to try and slot back in there, and Law. Dredge just went back to the pits. That's... Okay, as long as I don't do that twice, as long as I get a lap on the board. I know that in theory I can actually go faster than that pole time. We did it in slot 1. Oh, this is not feeling like a good first sector at all. Yeah, it wasn't. It's going to have to be an extraterrestrial second sector. To be fair, I think I'd put in a decent enough second. Okay, that probably puts pole out of reach unless I get a really good lap. The sort of lap that you wouldn't be able to replicate with 100 attempts. Because Yeesh has made it a 58.3, and that 4 I set in the last slot was actually the best lap I've done in the Supra. I know I've got a 58.1, but that's in the GTR, which is slightly quicker on floor pace. But that gets something on the board. I thought it was going to be bad, it was going to be worse than what it was. Ah, that's a missed apex. Two attempts up though. This is promising. I've got a fast exit. Why did I mess that corner up so badly? I didn't even get close to the apex. I didn't even come close to the apex. What the hell am I doing? And that could be the difference between starting ahead of Atom and behind, because, well, that was going to be a 4. And I knew that I had a slightly quicker final sector in me as well. Might not be in that bad shape. Even starting 4th would be decent, because at least then the fastest of the race paces won't be behind us. It's no excuse to mess this first sector up so badly, Jay. Oh, what the why? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I've never done that before. It's okay. If it's any consolation, it might not matter. I think we were aiming for another 40 at 58.4, and Alan is on a low one. Maybe I could have squeezed a 58.3 and started ahead, but I think Ranger is going to have the race pace advantage over me. I'm not so sure about Law and Fish. Tezza probably faster given that he FFS'd. But if there's a squabble behind amongst the guys with the high 58s, that's all the more breathing room for me to just run my own race and not get done right at the end here. Like, I will even take it extra cautious in the final, on the final lap to make sure what happened to me last time doesn't happen again. But assuming, yeah, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. I think everyone's done their laps. We're fourth, and we would have been fourth even if I'd improved to a 58.4. So I just got to put that one behind me. And just got to put that one behind me. Be thankful that we're still starting fourth. See if we can take advantage of any mistakes further up to get on the podium. But I think this is a good chance to break my losing streak in the World Series. It's just a matter of what the points are going to be like, because this might only be a 300-point lobby at best. And if it is, then it means I do need to podium this race. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this is bad, real bad. Yeah, you're telling me I'm starting in fourth and I'm still dreading this one. Because I know that it's such a razor-thin margin that, like... Yeah, last attempt for me no matter what happens here. Because the way I see it, the points aren't even going to be that good from slot 3 onwards, so I might as well do it now. Actually, maybe starting further up will help us. Maybe the larger grid will help us, because we'll be able to burn more fuel off and also take less of the main straight. That's how razor thin the margins are, but I'm thinking that that's the less ground we have to cover, the better. Yeesh, looking to redeem himself after Espinella in slot 1. looks to have gotten on top of those woes. We've got more pace than that, so we know that on paper we should be able to pull away from the group behind us. It's just a matter of if we manage it, because we're going to have to be saving tyres from lap 1 if we want to make this. But the good news is would have expected a better qualifying performance from Kizza. Doesn't seem to be as big of a factor in World Series racing anymore as he was back in 2018 when he made the regional. And was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I would say that he was outside of the big six in our country at the time. He was the best of the rest, and was consistently faster than me outside of Group 1 racing. No need to weave, Alan. You got to save the tyres. Yeah, that is a very dangerous tactic to try and warm up the tyres when you're like, that just puts more wear on them. Besides, it doesn't feel like it even makes a difference because it feels like I've got full grip right away. So the tyres weren't cold. That was sketchy. I turned in way too early. You can see how much I'm trying to save the tyres. I'm not even... No braking input through there at all. No trail braking through that final chicane. I feel like we're doing okay because Law is falling off of our way. As long as we can start distancing Law. Go just fast enough to make sure they can't harass me for the rest of this race. I understand that there are actually some people watching. I don't know how accurate that counter is, but it does seem like my stream is getting a little bit more support than usual. So I do thank everyone who stopped by to watch me try and survive this race. Unfortunately, it seems like I've got so little race pace that Law is going to harass me in much the same way Nif did in the last slot. Which means I've got to not get psyched out like I did last slot. I don't have to go into the 59s just because there's a car behind me. Although it really does not help it really doesn't help because he had no qualifying pace and yet he's got race pace. Mind you, I was only 3/10 faster in qualifying, but I know I had more quality pace to give. It's not like my lap was a slow one. That was a 59.9. I thought maybe I wasn't hitting my delta, but that is my race delta. I just can't seem to shake anyone come race day, race time. See, I'm racing in a way that looks like I'm trying to do fuel saving, but it really isn't. It's just I don't want any unnecessary inputs while I'm turning. There we go, we're going to manage to get some ground. Managed to get some ground back. Oh geez, this might be a carbon copy of the first slot if I don't get more ground. We may end up last lap putting it in the kitty litter again because the tyres just didn't quite last long enough. Still, marginal gains. Gotta hope for some marginal gains. Like being able to rev it on the grid for a little bit longer and starting a few meters further up the track. It all counts. Bad moment for Adam. But he's still got a chance to do something in this race. Mind you, I thought maybe he should have banked. To be honest, I think Yeesh is putting in the performance of the evening, moving himself up into split 1.0 whilst me is the cutoff of where split 1.5 starts, because you can see how much time we're losing already. But wait, if Yeesh is going this fast, does this mean he's going to have to pit? Because I don't think that pace is sustainable. Then again, even if he does pit, does he just beat us anyway because that's how fast he's going? I know that if I'd taken the Nissan, I had the potential to out-qualify Alan here. Does not even feel like I'm going slow, and yet Law has caught right back up to me almost immediately. Like, that was still only a 2-minute dead, and Law has gained 6/10 to get right back in my tailpipe. Oh, missed that apex badly. that sloppy driving like that isn't going to cut it. I need to... I say sloppy driving as I'm a 10.5 up on my ultimate pace, but that was only because I pushed a little bit harder just to make sure Law didn't have a chance to do something. I really needed some of these cars behind to start battling each other. Instead, it's mostly me trying to cover off the car directly behind me. To my credit, I'm managing it. I've never been in enough danger to be seriously attacked until my tires go off. But is this push to make sure I don't get attacked going to come back to bite me again? I don't know what more I can do. Oh, he's gone for it. Oh! I can't concentrate on my own lines. He's trying to have a go at me every single turn. If I go any faster than this, my tyres are dead. So I am afraid I just have to keep him behind. What else am I supposed to do? He's so close to me that I... This isn't working. I'm going to have to let him go. Because I am absolutely not gaining time this way. It's just everyone finds so much race pace. That's really annoying. Niff had more race pace than me despite his quali time being 7/10 slower. Law now, the gap was only 3/10, mind you, but I had a terrible qualifying and I couldn't even pull away from him. And through all of this, I haven't even had a chance to think about my tyres because I've had him bothering me this entire time. Or we may have another driver bothering me soon because Fish is coming up. And I can't seem to hold on to the back of Law. went too deep into this turn the first time. That was my biggest mistake. At least now we can use the slipstream if we can actually stay with Law. That's so frustrating. The way I drew it up in my head, I thought this group of closely matched drivers would start battling amongst themselves and I'd be able to pull away. But no. I ended up being the cork in the bottle for at least Josh Law, possibly others, and I can't seem to do anything about it. That's a skid we can ill afford. I've got to take, well, one positive that I can find is that right now it looks like our tyres are going to make it. I don't know if that's going to hold true, but we do still have half tyre life 8 laps in, which says to me that we actually do have a good chance of making it in this race. Unfortunately, the biggest problem for us is that everybody else seems to be able to make it. We were relying on someone not making it to gain places, and now to just hold on to top 5, we need to make it and not make any serious errors, because that too could hurt. That, on the other hand, helps a lot. Get a personal best sector through to the first sector, because we haven't been taking that first sector particularly well in this race. How is Zedfish not losing time on me? This is probably my best lap yet. And I'm losing time to someone that I've never even seen in these lobbies. Granted, he had a decent qualifying, but I feel so isolated that it's just me that's having to try to significantly alter my driving style to the point where I'm going at least half a second slower than I could be, just to make sure I get to the end, and nobody else seems to be having that struggle. It's like, that was a good final chicane and I still lost time. Every single corner I take feels good enough, and yet it's never enough. Then I just forgot my entire philosophy and tried to trail brake through there. Well, because I've got pressure behind me, when if I was able to run my own pace, I'm sure I'd be okay. But no, I can't seem to catch a break in these races. Why did I stop turning? It was like I had a good exit and then suddenly I straightened up the car as if I was on the straight when I wasn't. And that completely spoiled the entire turn. It's perhaps lucky I didn't get dirty tyres from it all. You know what the biggest problem is about having a car behind me like this is that it means that if I do have puncture issues, I can't even take it easy on the final lap. Look, it might just be wishful thinking, but I do think I've got more tyre life at this stage than I did last time around, although that's no excuse to trail brake so aggressively when I still need to save as much as possible until the very end. That's more like it. Apparently it's not, because it wasn't a PB. I was just saying, compared to how I took the corner last lap, it was alright. But now look, Z-Fish is within range to try something on me, which means I'm not even going to be able to take my usual line through this. Fuck's sake! And I have to let that go because if I can't... No! I still slid. I'm not even going to get top 5, even though I feel like I've done nothing wrong in this race. I've had to go so slow through all of these bends, and eventually it adds up. The car behind is close enough to make a move, and then I have to lose time letting them go, which means the car behind is then on my ass, which means I can't relax. Not sure why I shifted up there. Like seriously, where is this pace coming from for everyone? It's a tyre saving race, and it's like they don't even have to save tyres. Niff was doing qualifying laps on a controller and having no problems at all, whereas I am once again operating on such a razor thin margin that I don't even know if we're going to be able to make it to the end of this one. because I've got to do 2 laps on that much tyre life. No guarantee that anyone else will puncture, because well, at least Enforcer is falling away, so if I need to take some relief, I can. I finally managed to actually pull away from someone in this race. So I think Enforcer's already running into tyre woes. They're not going to make it. We might. Then again, we might not. Well, it's too late to hope for people to make mistakes. Everyone's too dialed in. Unless we get... No, I tried the race flat out. There's no way you puncture on lap 13 as opposed to 14. We've got 2.5 seconds. It doesn't really matter what we do at this point. Just make sure we don't get... This is where we had our puncture the previous race. So we have managed to go further. Did Law run into trouble? Yeah, I think Law ran into trouble. Zedfish has got a chance. Ah, but we ran out of grip ourselves. I can't do any better than that. Other than maybe hold Law up even better more. And if I tried to hold Law up, I was just going to burn more of my tyres. Same thing with Fish. He went for a move, and it was in a corner that I absolutely cannot push on. And if I went faster, they just would have gone faster also, because that was their natural pace. So in the end, there was nothing I could do about this race, but at least I survived. Adam's going to be spewing. He had track position on Alan and probably could have taken Yeesh if he'd Probably could have taken Yeesh if he hadn't have dropped behind Alan, but because he was behind Alan, it was no use. Let's see. That was the spot I needed. That was the place I needed to be in, and I didn't get it. It would have only gotten me to 1047, but it would have been some points. And in fact, did I score more points in my previous race? No, I think I scored the exact 239. So for all of that, I ended up scoring less. Yeesh wins on a puncture. It's like, we need to see what was going on, because I don't understand. Everyone else was taking their usual racing speed. I go slower to save tires, and I'm still one of the first to have problems in both slots. I said this was going to be my last race, even though I feel like I could go again, but on the other hand, I can't really, because I can't do much better than I already did. Let's see what this first race was like, because Nif says... Nathan says that he was on controller, but then why was he able to do qualifying laps without puncturing? I kind of needed that. Let me see. Okay, it was pretty similar tyre wear. I think it was just a case of... What, so you mean to say that everyone was having this trouble? I thought... Here I was thinking that... It was such a razor-thin margin. That much tyre life is fine. This much, puncture. Maybe I should study what Andrew Lee was doing, because he was on controller too. He did confirm that he was on it, and he was in the Nissan. So what? So what? Why is it a me problem? You saw how gently I was taking the entire race, and yeah, that apex speed should be another. That might have been a little bit too aggressive on the apex, actually. Yeah, Nif actually slowed down just to make sure. If I'd managed to make it around Spoon Curb, I might have been okay, but alas. The race I did in the second slot was the race I needed in the first. But let me see what Lee is doing, because I don't get it. He's even warming up his tyres, wasting more tyre life. This doesn't seem to be too dissimilar to what I was doing so far. He's even putting the throttle back on and trail braking. I didn't put any trail braking because I thought any amount of input you do aside from cornering puts so much more strain on the tires. Like, if I try to drive like that, I'm puncturing before I even get to lap 14. He's even sliding around. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's sliding around, trail braking, not a care in the world, and he makes it. I drive an extremely cautious style designed to save as much tyre as possible, and I don't make it. It's like that should be putting a lot of strain on the tyres. That corner looked pretty clean. I want to continue riding on board with Lee because I really need to see more of this. Where's he braking? He's trail braking all the way. When I did that, when I did that, my tires were dead. If I could help it, I put absolutely no braking input into this entire first sector, and he's braking, and yet he had more tyres than me in the end. Sorry, I stopped paying attention. I zoned out and like there's that partial brake application, but that just extends your brake distances even further. What I've tried, it was very difficult for me to actually make it work because I'm already having to extend my braking distances by avoiding trail braking to the apex. Yeah, this guy is trail braking all the way through turn 1 on a controller. Yes, Andrew Lee was on a controller today. So I've seen everything I need to see of him. Let's see what Niff was doing. So far, it looks like he too is trail braking excessively. When I do that, my tires die. He's even braking through there. I never broke through that last corner. that line through there is pretty much where the line I would run, at least. But yeah, let's continue looking, because this is the guy that went from setting a 59.1 in qualifying to managing to trounce me. Look at that! That's trail braking through that's trail braking again. Even though I'd established that trail braking kills your tires very easily. So I was unable to pull away because he's basically doing qualifying laps right now. Like extremely deep into that turn. Gets a slide going too, which hurts your tyres even more. Oh, Lee made the mistake. Like this driving style across the board seems a lot more aggressive than the one I was using. Yet I'm the one that has the bad tyre wear. I don't get it. Like I can see that at least was a pretty gentle approach through that sector. I think the one thing I probably could have done better was that I was still trail braking through that hairpin on most of my laps because I was trying to get the car pulled up. I probably could have adjusted my braking zone there. Like he's going full pace through there, trail brakes, and yet my tyre wear is worse. See what happened to Lee. Was he? Ah, I see. It was the good old turn 1 error. But wait, that just makes it more frightening that after a big slide like that, he still manages to get to the end of the race on a controller, and I don't. But yeah, let's go back to Neff. Okay, that was more like the line I would take. So maybe he was kind of saving tyres, but it doesn't look like he's doing it to the extent I am, yet he's getting better results. Because he breaks through these corners, whereas I just let the car roll through to reduce the strain. And yet I'm under more pressure. Look at that, that's full trail, that's almost full trail braking for Rulestone. Like actually, let's look at Rulestone through this next corner. Because I bet he was taking this corner complex maximum geets himself. Yeah, that is full aggression, including staying in third gear. Speaking of, Niff is also exiting out in third gear instead of fourth. That can't be good on the tyres either. So yeah, that was the result of slot 1 for anyone who was just joining in. Barbara Lee, Emery, Psydog and Atom, and it was a 359 point split. But anyway, I'm gonna stop whinging on YouTube and see you next week.